Welcome or welcome back. We're going to play some more Silent Hill on the Game Boy Advance. It should be a good time and a little bit creepy. I could see that the electricity was most likely out in the entire hospital. The lights are out. I pressed the switch on the flashlight on my chest and tried lighting the area. All right. It's creepy, and yet there's nothing noticeably out of place. Chilly air drifts from the cold concrete. It seems as if touching it would completely rob my body of its warmth. While moving through the corridor, I try opening the doors as I come to them. One of them opens with a creak. Emergency generator is written on the machine that occupies most of the room. To reach the second floor and above, it did not look like there was any method other than using the elevator. So without hesitation, I turned the machine on. I immediately head for the elevator. I press the up button. The heavy sound of the motor and the sound of the metal parts coming into contact with each other almost sounds like intertwined screams. With a ding, the elevator stops, and its doors slowly open. The inside of the elevator is large. It seems to be big enough to accept 3 hospital beds. Buttons to each floor are lined up to the right of the elevator door. They are marked 3, 2, 1, and B from top down. Okay. All right, let's go to the second floor. That's where I head. The second floor. However, after I step off the elevator, I find that the door connected to the corridor that leads to the rooms on this floor is locked. With no alternative, I try heading to the third floor. But I find that it's in the same state. Well, what now? With nothing else to do, I re-entered the elevator. And then, could not believe my eyes. Huh? Of the buttons for each floor, 3 was definitely the highest floor, just before. In spite of that, a new 4 button had been added. No. That's impossible. The elevator doors open with a familiar sound, and I step out onto the 4th floor. Again, I think? A condition extremely similar to which I had encountered after passing through the basement in the clock tower at the elementary school was present right in front of me. Dark red rusted walls, metal grated floors, and a ringing in my ears that seemed to creep up from the depths of hell is just a menace to my mental state. I open the door in front of me, and a long corridor extends beyond it. I very carefully move forward, while keeping my eyes fixed on the wall. Could Cheryl be here? The only way to find out is to search this place. God damn it, I'll find you. Huh? I can hear something in the darkness in front of me. It sounds like the groan of something dragging on the ground. The owner of that groan is slowly closing in on me, but I cannot see what it is for sure with the faint light of my flashlight. Okay. Instantly ready my gun or leave the area. Get that gun ready, right? I mean, I'm a dad. Gotta go after my daughter. Save her. It's probably not human. I firmly grip the gun, position my finger on the trigger, and begin to walk toward it, with the gun readied beside my face. Eventually, something white enters my field of vision. I adjust the aim of the flashlight on my chest with my hand and shine a light on it. All right, come get it. A white figure appeared, which is stooped over like an old woman. It looked to have undergone a grotesque change. The monster has a very large hump on its back, which twitches and moves as if it were alive. In one hand it holds a knife, which it waves as it approaches me. In the instant I readied my gun, the monster began to run. By the time I realized this, it slashed at me. Ah! I instantly dodged the attack, and thanks to that, my clothes were slashed, and I had only a scratch on my side. I suppose I was lucky. Damn. For all you writers out there, never start a sentence with damn. I kick it in the face with the bottom of my shoe and it falls down on its back. It then begins to stand for its next attack. I close my left eye and steady my aim. Even after one shot hit, its movement does not change at all. I fire more bullets at it. It's laughing. In a voice great enough to shake the entire world. It laughs as its face twists and distorts. I cannot give up. When the final bullet loaded in my gun hits, it finally stops laughing. This time it's face down and I begin crushing it with my foot. Finally, it completely stops moving. This is insane. Another monster approaches from behind the corpse of the first one. At this rate, all the bullets in the world would not be enough. All I can do is run. Let's keep going forward. I begin to run towards the monster in front of me. Evading the large swings of its knife, I run down the dark corridor, occasionally stumbling. I see a staircase leading down. I race down it, not knowing whether something is waiting for me or not at its base. Let's go. I'm thinking about Cheryl. Even if she's held prisoner somewhere in this hospital, there's no guarantee I can rescue her. Jesus, what the hell is going on? I need to find Cheryl. It's been way too long. In fact, there's no reason that the staircase I'm descending should lead me to Cheryl. I begin to think that all my current actions they're all meaningless. However, generally speaking, since I arrived at Silent Hill, no. Since the day before leaving for Silent Hill, no. Even longer ago. Since the day I met Cheryl, perhaps I've had no choice in my actions, that they have been determined by someone's will. As I continue to the base of the stairs, I contemplate. What if my life, up to this point, had just been on one track? As I descend the stairs, my ears began ringing again. The ringing is so forceful that it cannot even be compared to before, and it forces me to squat down. Ah! What in the world has happened? Perhaps I've opened a door to hell, a door that should have never been opened. Something is clearly changing, and it's for the worse. Going back will not be permitted. I must move forward. Forward. I put my hands together on my head and then squeeze my temples tightly by using my elbows. The ringing begins to sound like a demon is whispering in my ears. However, it doesn't stop. Blindly, I begin to run. Even if I am to die in this mad land, I must save my beloved Cheryl first. Believing that the answers are beyond the door, I know I must discover at least one clue. Several overlapping square figures are shaking in time with the sound of my heart. It's the wall at the end of the area. Another wall lies perpendicular to it. There is a door present on this wall, with a plate on it that says, Storehouse. Some chemicals have been placed on a table that is next to the door. There are 3 beakers of different sizes and a test tube. The test tube contains a liquid that is a different color to that which is in the leftmost beaker. I found a memo. To create it, you must come up with 1 deciliter of liquid and pour it into the test tube. No more, no less. But there are no graduations on the beakers. This makes it impossible to come up with 1 deciliter using these 3 large beakers. Okay, we're going to see a bit of gameplay. What do people think of this music? The door won't budge an inch. Let's do some math. Okay.
Do you choose this beaker?
Oops, it looks like a bit of Japanese slipped through. Harry melted the chain on the door with the completed liquid. The door slowly opened with a click. Inside the storehouse, nothing important stands out. I carefully edge my way between the metal shelves. I can't see anything now. It's just a blank screen. The shelves have been placed in a specific arrangement. However, nothing is here that makes this room worthy of being called a storehouse. I'm drawn toward the cabinet in the back of this room. This is because I found the presence of the wooden cabinet strange and unsuitable, especially for this simple room. I approach the cabinet and try to open it. It won't budge. Okay, do I look at the floor under the cabinet, look inside of the cabinet, or look on top of the cabinet? I'll look on the floor. If there's an important clue inside this cabinet, then I should be able to open it right away. Okay. All right. But then I gradually come to understand that there's no need to do so. The necessity of the cabinet here is thin, as anything could be used to satisfy the requirement. If something is needed to block my path, then a bunch of stones could work just as well. I thought this as I looked at the scratches on the floor that were the same width as the cabinet. The marks on the floor are still fresh. They tell me that some other human probably came down here. Is there something beyond this cabinet? Using my body weight, I slowly pushed the cabinet from its original position. The existence of an inviting door behind the cabinet seems so natural, so of course I place my hand on it. The room is very inorganic. While shining my flashlight about, I move through the room and eventually discover a grate in the floor. From between the bars in the grate, I can see a staircase that leads down to a lower floor. The grate makes a clunk sound as I open it. It's quite heavy. Even though I'm sure of my strength, I do not believe that I could pick it up. After opening the grate enough so that I can pass through it, I gently place one foot on the staircase that has appeared. Slowly and cautiously, confirming each step as I go, I descend the staircase to a mad place, which light cannot reach. I reach a wide room, much wider than I imagined. I guess this based on the echoes of my footsteps. Run! I'm running through this eerie space that lies in the basement of the hospital. It's lifeless, and there's no light. All I can do is run through it.
Does this world have an end? Or did it even have a beginning?
Everywhere I go, all that I do is solve the mysteries that appear one after another, and then move on. I understand this, and expect that the same situation will continue. Still, all I can do is move forward. My thinking always results in the same conclusion. This door has awaited me. I slowly turn the knob. The inside of this room is different from the ones I've encountered up to this point. And I can feel life in here. There are traces and a sense that someone was in this room. Huh! I softly pick up the picture frame that was displayed on the desk. Alessa. That's engraved on the picture frame. I gaze at the picture. It's a face that I think I've seen somewhere. I try to remember where as hard as I can, but in the end I cannot remember it all. But I'm sure I have. I'm sure I've met this girl somewhere. And more than just once. A diary has been placed next to the picture frame. I reach out with my hand. Let's pick up the diary. Something is written in the diary. April 15th. From today, this will be my last new diary. Lisa secretly gave it to me as a present, and it means that soon I'll be able to take my bandages off. A bird landed on a branch on a tree outside of my window. I gazed at it for a bit, seeing those beautiful colors. I thought again that it must be spring. I wish I could play outside like the other children. It's now afternoon, and they've come again. I pretended to be asleep, and it looks like they didn't notice. They talk quietly, as not to be heard outside my room. I don't understand the meaning of what they're discussing. They never talk in this room, I thought. April 16th. Someone is talking outside of my room. It sounds serious, but it doesn't seem to be about me. Perhaps it's because he doesn't want to disturb me? Even the hospital director has not come to see me much lately. I don't like the director very much. So I'm honestly quite happy. April 16th. P.S. By some strange chance I learned that a certain person is coming to visit me. April 17th.
Everyone's been in a rush for some reason. Since before sunrise this morning. Something about a dead person coming back to life. Does that really happen? It's a frightening story, and because of that my meal was a little late. The cold soup is disappointing. Suddenly I remember him. Maybe he hasn't forgotten me, but I definitely remember him. Lately I think of him often. I want to see him. It looks like my visitor is coming to see me in the evening on the day after tomorrow. Before then, just once. April 18th. It's finally tomorrow. I'm not going to tell anyone about this. If I tell anyone, they'll probably strap me to my bed. Before they arrive, the friend that can share my feelings. The only one. I wonder if she'll realize this. Tonight, I'm going to go to bed early. April 19th. I must get out of here. For the first time in a while, I've worn my favorite pendant. Does it look good on me? I'll write about the results here tomorrow. April 20th.
The last page is blank. I placed the diary under my arm and prepared to leave the room. However, my eyes once again returned to the picture frame that the diary had been placed next to. She was alone. But I have Cheryl. The girl in the picture is appealing to me for something. In the silence, I can feel a spiritual message. After wavering, I removed the picture from the frame and slid it into my pocket. And then I left the room. Alessa. Just who is she? And why was her picture on display in the deep basement of the hospital? Why does everything have to not make any sense? And where was that strange feeling of life that I sensed in the room coming from? I'm unable to figure any of it out. And I'm so irritated. I head for the examination room on the first floor. All of the mysteries of the hospital are surely prepared in that room. Believing so, I race up the stairs while having difficulty breathing. When I open the door to the examination room, I feel the presence of a person and I stop moving. The inside of the room is dark. Someone is here. Who is it? I slowly approach. Whoa! All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we will see what happens next time.